Our latest project is a Jurassic Park Jeep Wrangler. I saw the movie 4 times in the theater back in 1993. Absolutely loved it. Have always been a Jeep guy and absolutely loved the movie, so our latest project really was a no-brainer for us.
Sometime in the spring of 2017, I was working out, and I'm always watching movies when I'm working out in the elliptical, and I happened to put the movie in called Jurassic Park.
My father, Bill, one day a few months back, he said to me, "I watched Jurassic Park last night." And I said, "Oh, yeah, I love it. It's a great movie." He says, "We need to build a Jeep." And I said, "Great." I thought you'd never ask.
When I saw the special effects in Jurassic Park, and I took a look at what the vehicles consisted of, because I've always been a car guy, I said, could this be another project? Because we always have a project going. I spent a little time with my son Patrick and said, "Dad, I would love to do a Jurassic Park Jeep." And I would say it took him about 2 milliseconds before he was already on Craigslist and eBay and looking for an appropriate donor to make our screen accurate clone.
The Jeep had to be a 92 to 94 model year, which was the YJ chassis. It had to be a Sahara model as well, because we wanted it to be as screen accurate as possible. You can build regular YJ Jeep and you can use an older or a newer one, but we wanted it to be as screen accurate as possible, so I had to find the right one. Well, they don't exist in Massachusetts or in New England or anywhere in the Rust Belt, because the Jeeps have a tendency to rust. They're very rust prone. The frames especially, after my fruitless search here in the Northeast.
Shortly after that, he was on the Big Bird heading down to Florida and purchased the majority of the vehicle that you see here. And then within another week, we found one here in Massachusetts. Having had a hardtop on it the entire life, it was very, very clean inside. And so that was purchased. And the next was hiring our pal Greg here.
We are on to our 4th restoration with the Shea family. Projects like these are few and far between. Not every day do you get to build movie props for customers. Since this vehicle was from Florida, the underside of the body was virtually rust-free, looked factory. So all we had to do was just touch up some spots with some undercoating. We didn't have to pull the body off to make this vehicle perfect. There was no need for it, and it saves money. And it did have a few dings and dents, just as a normal Jeep would have, and we had to do all of our body work, welding up holes that were drilled for accessories such as fender flares and other accessories. One of the key benefits about doing this project is we have a brand new state-of-the-art Garmat semi-down spray booth that was just installed this past spring. Key feature of having this booth is it takes up minimal shop space. All the components are on top of the spray booth. There's no towers behind it. Our paint line that we use is Sherwin-Williams. They offer a couple different lines of paint, but we use the Ultra 7000 system along with their clear coats. I've been spraying this paint system for about 10 years now. I first started spraying it at Advanced Auto Body in Worcester. Got to give them guys a big thanks for giving me the opportunity to learn this trade, and they took me on. I worked there for a few years and decided to go on my own and go in the restoration field. That was my dream. We had to do a polyester primer, and once that's set up, we blocked that down and reprimed it with a 2K Sherwin-Williams P30 system. Once that had cured, we went on to sanding the whole vehicle down and getting it ready for its new fresh coat of paint. That would be a sand beige poly factory Chrysler color. Once that step was complete, we finished it off with a semi-gloss clear, just as it was from the factory. That had to sit for at least 1 week before we sprayed the red. The red color was a Ford Performance Red. That's what we believe they used. There was 2 different colors that were believed they used, but we chose the Ford Performance Red. One of the most difficult parts of this project was getting the paint line measurements exact. We were going off of a picture from JP Motorpool that somebody spent a lot of time getting the exact angles and measurements. Once all the paint process is done, we're going to be installing all the accessories: fender flares, bumpers, winch, soft top, interior, off-road lights, searchlights on the rear. This past week we have installed the Jabsco marine grade searchlights that are mounted on the light bar that we got from Obsession Off-Road. Also, for the lights, we had to make custom guards for the front that we did here in-house. We're installing some of the interior, such as the padding on the roll bar and new best top, soft top.
Installing the amber driving lights that were part of the Jeep in the movie on the rear. We've got new bumpers on, we've got the spare tire mounted, we've got all of the hardware brand new in the back, all of the bumper and frame all painted.
We're going to be installing the front Ramsey winch and also installing the interior from Inside Out Customs in Lunenburg. John is a very good friend of ours and has been doing our interior work for the past 5 years.
Patrick works for me. I said, how about if I spring you a day or two a week and I let you go over and work with Greg? So you are intimate with every component of the restoration, fully involved in it, because you know one thing for sure, at some point down the road, you're going to be taking it apart again. So the more you know about how it's done, how it went together, how it came apart, the better off you are. And so for the last 4 or 5 weeks, Patrick has been coming over 1 or 2 days a week and working with all of Greg's able-bodied people, and the results are what you see thus far. I am 2 thumbs up for Greg and give my son a lot of credit for doing what we do and try to share our adventure as we go down the road.